Hello YouTube, this is TheKillerNacho again, and I have another exciting match, this time with DarthChocoboz, who I found on the TPX chat, and he's also a very good YouTuber. Make sure you check out his channel at the conclusion of this video. Alright, so anyway, I lead with Lavos, my deoxys speed. I'm going to try to taunt his Skarmory so he can't, like, set up or anything, but that's a pretty obvious play, and he's going to predict it in just Brave Bird. Unfortunately for him, it does not appear that will 2-hit KO, so I'm going to still get up my Stealth Rocks and probably some Spikes too, so that will be pretty nice for me. He's going to end up switching here. I guess he thought that Brave Bird might be a 2-hit KO, but it is not because my deoxys speed is a little bulky, I believe. So I just go for the Stealth Rocks, and that's going to get them up, and that's awesome. And he goes out in a Latias, and I really don't know what kind of Latias this is, and I just want to set up Spikes, and at least I'll be able to find out what kind this Latias this is. So I just go set up the Spikes. He ends up going for the Draco Meteor, and that is going to KO Lavos. However, after I see the Draco Meteor, I'm kind of figuring this thing is choiced, whether it's probably Specs, because a Scarf one probably would outspeed me. So I go out into my Gengar now, believing this is a speed tie, and he is at -2 special attack, so he probably can't kill me anyway. So I go for a sub, and he ends up going out into Skarmory again, which is pretty nice for me, because now I can just go for a Hidden Power Fire, which I do run instead of the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt would actually be better in this situation, but Hidden Power Fire is still pretty nice against the Skarmory. It's super effective, but it actually doesn't do as much as I thought it would. I was thinking it would do more. Maybe this Skarmory is a little specially bulky, I don't know. But anyway, I decide he goes for a Whirlwind, and that Whirlwind's me in the Celebi, and I'm really not looking forward to getting Brave Birded in the face, so I decide to switch out into Blitz, kind of because it is the best thing I can take a flying move on this team, and I can kind of set up on the Skarmory as long as he doesn't Whirlwind, but I don't think he will against this guy. So he just goes for a Roost, so now he's like healthy again. That's really annoying, and Skarmory is just being a bother like it usually is. Anyway, so I'm gonna go for I think I go for a Swords Dance. Yes, I go for a Swords Dance, but he goes out into Latias, which is not good for me because Latias does outspeed me. So I'm going to switch, and I go back out in Celeb. And basically I do this. This Celebi isn't really especially bulky. I think it's max HP and almost max defense, actually, so it's very physically bulky Celebi. I kind of need it on this team to counter certain threats, but I figure that I think I can live a Draco Meteor from this guy, and I know I can get health back later with Recover or Giga Drain, which I run, so I decide, you know what, I'm just going to take the hit on Celebi, see what he locks himself into, and I don't take the Draco Meteor too well, but I do survive. And I go into Scissor, figuring I can take a -2 Draco Meteor, and I do take it pretty nicely. It's pretty obvious he's going to switch, so I go for a U-turn to see what into, and obviously he goes out into Skarmory, and yeah. So I get the U-turn off on that, and now I go out into my Rage just to scare it away, because I kind of figure he's not going to stay in against an Infernape. I mean, obviously not, will he? So I go for another U-turn. This is my Choice Band Infernape again, by the way. And he ends up staying in, which was shocking. Completely shocking. So that was, I don't know whether he just predicted the U-turn or something, I don't know, but he decides just to go for a Brave Bird to try to kill my Infernape. But he ends up just doing a lot of damage to my Blitz, and that kind of stinks. Anyway, so now I'm just going to go for the Stone Edge. I kind of figured he might switch, and I figured Stone Edge was a safe play either way, since, you know, it'll do some nice damage to Skarmory if he stays in, and maybe I'll be able to get the revenge kill with basically anything. Or if he switches out, you know, it'll do damage to Latias. He ends up just going for a Roost, which is kind of bad for me. And now I'm thinking he'll probably try to Life Orb stall me with Roost, so I decided to go for a Swords Dance, because seeing how much Stone Edge did, I think that close combat will be able to KO at full health, except I'm still kind of new to Gen 5, and I completely forgot Skarmory had Sturdy. Not that it comes up very often, especially when you're talking about a physical Pokemon, because Skarmory is like freaking bulky anyway, and it probably won't get one-hit KO'd. But in the rare case it does get one-hit KO'd like that, Sturdy does protect it, and he just goes for a Brave Bird to finish me off. But you know what? At least that Brave Bird takes him down too, and I don't have to deal with that stupid freaking Skarmory anymore, so that's a kind of a help. It kind of makes my losing Terrakion worth it. Anyway, I go out into my Battle Bug, because I kind of figure I'll go out in a Latias, and I was kind of hoping after this Stealth Rock damage I'll be able to KO with Bullet Punch, except I don't, and that kind of sucks because he has a Hidden Power Fire, and that's like great. That sucks. But at least this Latias is almost dead, except I think it can still live a Stealth Rock, which really hurts. I didn't kill it, and it can still live a Stealth Rock. That really sucks. So I go out into Infernape because obviously he can't really hurt me with Hidden Power Fire too much. So I'm just going to go for a U-turn, seeing what he'd go into, and kind of hoping he'd stay in so I can just kill that guy, but he doesn't. He goes out into Slowbro, which is a physical wall, but I am a Choice Band Infernape, and that is super effective. So even with U-turn, that does quite a lot. So I go out into Celebi, because this is a guy that I know I can just recover on. And I decide to go for the Giga Drain, because Giga Drain will do both, kill this Slowbro and heal me by quite a lot, because Giga Drain's awesome. So I just eat this Slowbro. I hear Slowbros are lovely this kind of year. Nom 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 nom. Dead Slowbro. And my Celebi is back to green health. Not bad of a move at all. So he's going to go back out into Latias. And at this point, I really don't want to take a Draco Meteor by anything, so I'm just going to stay in and recover, kind of hoping for the Draco Meteor miss. However, he tricks, which is a nice play for him because it locks me in a recover, and that's kind of annoying. But on the other hand, this Latias is not nearly as powerful without the Choice Specs as it is with the Choice Specs. So I decided to stay into Celebi, see what he's going to try to do. Kind of hope that he would go for the Draco Meteor, so he'd get -2 attack, because I know Celebi can take a Draco Meteor without the specs. But he ends up going for Hidden Power Fire, which is a safer play. And I really can't stay in, because eventually he'll probably get a crit with Hidden Power Fire, not to mention that he's getting leftover recovery, and I just can't deal with that. So I go out into my Gengar, knowing that this is a speed tie. He does have Hidden Power Fire, I have Hidden Power Fire, we're both timid, obviously. So this is a speed tie, and you know what? I don't know why I thought I could win a speed tie, because I never do, so I'm just going to die, and that sucks. Yeah, so I lose my Gengar. Oh, woe is me. Should have figured I'd lose a speed tie, but whatever. Anyway, I decided to go back into Celebi now, because I know I can take pretty much any one of his attacks, because now he has -2 special attack. I'm just going to go for a Giga Drain, which is a Choice Specs Giga Drain, because I was given Choice Specs. He ends up going to Metagross to resist, but I end up doing a decent chunk, actually, with Giga Drain. Actually, that's not much of a decent chunk, but you know what? I'm just going to stay in, because I can't really, I really can't afford to switch out into Infernape and have it die, because he still has a Blissey, and I know I need to keep Infernape for Blissey no matter what. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, he's gonna go for a Pursuit, thinking I'd switch into Infernape, but I do not. Awesome. And then I get a crit with Giga Drain, and that's awesome. So this is not turning out so badly for me, because Celebi is apparently really hungry. I mean, he wasn't just content with eating a Slowbro. He has to eat a Metagross, too. I don't know how one eats a Metagross. It would probably not digest well, but, yeah, my Celebi does it anyway, because my Celebi is awesome, and that is one delicious Metagross, if I don't say so myself. Alright, so now he's going to go out into Latias again, and I think I can take a Draco Meteor still at this point. So I decide to stay in, try to get rid of this guy, because this is the only thing I'm really worried about on this team. I did decide to go with the crowd, and I replaced Stone Edge on my Choice Band Infernape with Mach Punch, so I'm not really afraid of Terrakion, who he still has left, and obviously I can KO Blissey, no problem. So yeah, that was awesome for me, because I kill that Latias. So my Celebi is just eating Pokemon left and right now. And he goes for a Quick Attack, which is kind of a misplay for him. Maybe he's adamant and thought he wouldn't be able to outspeed, I don't know. But that was kind of a misplay, because he probably was faster, and I just eat him for breakfast. Yummy. And this is around breakfast time when I did this battle, so that kind of makes sense. His last Pokemon is Blissey, but he knows I have Infernape, so he knows he can't win, so he's just going to run. So that is a good game. And, yeah, that quick attack misplay probably hurt him, but I don't think, I mean, at worst, Terrakion versus my Choice Band Infernape is a speed tie, and I really don't think that quick attack could kill me, even if he does win the Mach Punch quick attack speed tie, and obviously Blissey's not going to be able to take a Choice Band Mach Punch or close combat very well either, so I don't think that quick attack really mattered in the long run, but it was still a great battle with DarthChocoboz. He's a fun guy, and he has good YouTube battles. Make sure you check him out. Anyway, today's question of the day has to do with Garchomp, which is now Uber again. So it didn't really last long in Gen 5 either. How do you feel about that? As for me, I really didn't have much problem with Garchomp in Gen 5. I really didn't think it was as widespread as it was in Gen 4, and I didn't think it was, I think it had definitely more counters, or more outs. Then again, it is voted Uber for the time being, so tell me what you think about Garchomp going Uber again. And rate, comment, subscribe. Alright, peace out, homies.